Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove, and I wanted to do a quick little finished prayer book flip through video for 30 Days of Goddess. So this is a finished book that I did as my own personal practice with Ellen of the Ways, and so this wasn't a guided one where I posted the prompts each day and all that kind of stuff like I'm doing for March, but I wanted to show you the finished one to give you some ideas. So I used cards from friends, and for the cover, stitched it. This one's printed out. I think it's less than 70% as terms of size. And then a little note reminder in the beginning. And I stuck in a set of prompts I made for this purpose. And then here's some other little bits and pieces that I didn't end up getting to use. And so they're going to get moved into the next one from Dandelion Lady. And I like to have a little pocket in the front, extra cutout goddesses ready to use, feathers that I found on my walks, and things like that. And in the back, also, I keep some stencils, extra little goddesses to cut out to use on the pages, stencils to use on the pages, and past affirmation cards that I've created. And then I've got the little mini zine also from Dandelion Lady. I'm one of her patrons on Patreon, and you can find her there. She posts interesting things. And I like having that represented in the back. Another card from a friend for Solstice, and the bookmarks that I made to go with it. And then, I keep a pouch. There's a pouch. This was since February, only had 28 days. Then I just decorated the remaining pages. I didn't like leaving the square blank, so I stuck some stuff over it. And you can always, that's the whole point of this, is you can make it your own. Like, just because there's 28 days, I'm calling it 30 Days of Goddess for consistency. And because it has a nice sound to it, a nice container to it, but this doesn't have to be an exactly 30 days practice. And then more feathers, other little pieces in my, this is a bakery bag envelope, so it's like glassine paper, like waxed paper envelope for putting cookies and things in at bakeries to sell, but they also work great as little pockets for putting feathers and notes in. And then the pages are different. A lot of times I go through, so this is from, and this card was from Amanda at the Phoenix Soul also. The zine was from Dandelion Lady. The card was from the Phoenix Soul. And I get issues of the Phoenix Soul magazine digitally, and then I like to punch things out of them with my little punch. And sometimes I do several pages punches. I do several pages in advance, and then when I get there, I do further embellishment. So, little sticker from Joni Ray of the Kitchen Witch, and bits of my own writing that I re-cut out. That's from the Divine Feminine app. Little feather I found that day. Our own printable stickers. This one from Fiona Beth of, she's rebranding a Tea Break Tarot School, but now I can't remember her username. Global Village Witch, I think, is what she's moving to, but Fiona Beth Phillips. She has a nice Patreon as well, and she was, anyway, she sent me that little note, and then I did the stamping on the inside of it. So this little note that had stickers in it, but I did the stamping. I was doing a watercolor every morning with Susan Lauren, and Lauren, I don't remember how to say her last name. Darn it. I'm mentioning a lot of people in this video, and that's kind of striking me how many people's voices and presence and influence in my life are represented here in this little prayer book. It's kind of becomes a little community in and of itself, these representations. More messages from the Phoenix Soul. So I was doing the watercolors, and I had some that I didn't like that much, and so I cut them out and put them in here. Or it's not that I didn't like them; they didn't go with my the rest of my series. That's from a Goddess Provisions box, I believe. So I'm always on the lookout for little things to save and keep that I can repurpose. Oh, the other little sloth from Joni Ray. This was cut off of a card that I got from one of those free places, and it's a religious organization. So this was like from a Bible verse, I think, but I cut out the part of the Bible verse I wanted and put it in here as a non-Bible goddess prayer book verse instead. And I made that for people for Valentine's Day. Then I printed one out for myself. That's cut out of an ad for a We Moon date book from a chocolate wrapper. Sticker that one of my kids gave me. More chocolate wrapper. These words are from a page-a-day calendar that I had from a magazine. And I just really enjoy how these become your own personal little wisdom books. That's from a magazine as well. They become your little personal wisdom books. A note from my little 6-year-old that he wrote me. And look. And then my own little bookmarks that I made to give to people and sent out. And these are from UU World magazine as well. This is from I think it's from a Real Simple magazine. But what I like about this prayer book process and purpose and engagement is it's kind of has an integrating, unifying, well, it's fun and creative, but it also has this integrative, unifying kind of element of pulling together these things that you value, and so it becomes like a personal expression, a little book of wisdom, a book about kind of a statement about your own life or what you value and what you care about, and then reminders and little magical notations and things that you want to remember. That comes from a desire map. The bottom is a little tab that fell off the bottom of my desire map planner. And then my own little prayers that I had printed out pocket-sized, or not pocket-sized, teeny tiny, for the current session of 30 Days with Goddess, but I glued one in here because I liked how it looked like it was rising from the earth. Another UU World thing, but as I'm saying, it just really feels like it becomes an expression of you, of your soul, of your communion with the goddess or the sense of the sacred in your days, and it represents a lot more than a collection of papers. It represents something that is kind of an encapsulation of your own personal process and your own personal love for your own life. So, and for your devotion, for the promises that you are making, and it represents to keeping a promise to yourself, to engage in a daily practice, to create, to write, to express, to love, to be, and to be in communion with the sacred. And so my next one, I'm getting ready over here, and it's, coloring the inside. This is from Mama Tree on Instagram. She does hand-carved block printing, and I think she's got a number after her name. Tree Newbie. It's Mama Tree with like a 17 or a 7 or something after is the username. But I've got my feathers, I've got deer fur, got another little note. These come from Chelsea, who's one of our moderators, and is Restoring the Rowans is her username, I believe, on Instagram. She does tarot readings and things like that. And so it's just getting going. I have another little watercolor in there. And then I will stash things I'm going to use. That's from Wee Moon. I'll stash things I'm going to use. That's from Goddess Provisions. I'll stash things. I'm going to say that 5 times, I guess. I'll stash things I'm going to use in the back. And this one is cards that my sons made for me for Mother's Day. So my second son did that one. And then the cover is my oldest son who did that. And then one of our own stickers on the back. So anyway, I hope you might find that interesting. Look at the possibilities. Thanks for being here.